hear about a single shooting in Chicago.
I didn't either.
Heard about the gorilla every other minute.
Right. So I think 50 is a low estimate.
Yeah. No, I get it. Look, I understand being upset about the gorilla. It is sad. It's endangered.
A beautiful, intelligent, smart primate.
Choose to be in the zoo there.
It's related, closely to humans. I get it.
I get it.
But on the other hand, it's a human being, and we really should try to err on the side of protecting human life.
Absolutely. No, I think part of the problem here is that these zoos, people hate seeing an animal in a cage, right?
Right, and
so the zoos are crafted in a way so it looks all natural, and it doesn't look like they're in a cage. It's open air, and so apparently a 4-year-old can get in.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the problem. And it's the same people that are upset that the gorilla died because of this that are screaming about an animal being in a cage. Right?
You could make the argument that we shouldn't have zoos at all, right?
Okay.
I mean, that's a legitimate argument.
And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I think zoos are educational. There are a lot of benefits to zoos other than just a fun weekend with the family.
Right.
But
some of the big zoos, do a lot of breeding of endangered species. They do research. They fund research. They do all kinds of stuff. But I think if you're going to err on the side of human life and not gorilla life.
Yep.
All right. It's approaching summer, as you so rudely pointed out. Not quite there. The left ventricle of summer is approaching, and it's only like 18 days away, right? It's about the 20th.
It is. It's approximately June 20th. Will be the first.
Well,
day of
the summer solstice varies, one a day or so.
It's June 20th,
28, 21. It can be.
Okay,
it goes back for it.
Come on.
Okay, so love lemonade, right?
I do love lemonade.
A good, fresh, homemade lemonade is really good. Lots of ice, refreshing. If you sell it on the Capitol lawn, you get put in handcuffs and carted away. And I guess the point is they didn't have a permit to vend for food. They couldn't charge. The police that were there said, you can give it away, but they were selling it for 10 cents a glass.
10 cents a piece. So the difference between being left alone by the police officers and being violently taken away, having violence used against you, is 10 cents a glass.
Is 10 cents. Yeah, just 10 cents. One instance could do it. And if you look at the video that I looked at, the female officer was not very nice.
No.
And she kept shoving her hand and trying to grab the camera.
Well, she did hit it.
She did grab it and pull it down and said, stop filming us, and you have every right to film public servants conducting their business, right? She didn't need to do that, and she knew that she looked bad, and she knew that it wasn't going to look good on YouTube. So she was frustrated and took it out on the camera person, which was a bad mistake. But what they did do is they ended up arresting a few people for doing this. Now, the people set this up on purpose.
Sure.
It wasn't like a couple of kids out there selling lemonade on the Capitol lawn. It was indeed done to entice this kind of reaction. But the point is, where does having a permit and having a right and where the two come together?
Well, I'd say...
who decides and how much do you pay for the permit and all kinds of things.
Look, the permits are cheap, right? And I'd say that if you're doing this on public land, somebody has to pay for the upkeep of that land. And so if you're producing profit, don't you think that you are obligated to pay for the upkeep of that property that you're using? Through the tax of buying a permit.
Well, this is both permits and licensing kind of things, right?
Yeah,
you're getting a license.
Difference?
And I will tell you, having helped organize an event on the Capitol Mall at the Washington Monument, that it would be unlikely that they would have gotten any kind of permit to do that. And if they did, it would have taken months and months and months to go through all of the the hoops
Sure, and
to get a permit.
And they couldn't afford it at 10 cents a glass, right? Well, I mean, so if they really did want to do this, they'd have to raise their prices.
But the story goes beyond this because they do this even if you're on your own property.
Right.
We have many cases where little kids are shut down because they don't have a city permit.
Where the whole ridiculous argument about, well, the permit goes to pay for the grass to be mowed and all this other garbage doesn't apply because unless I let my grass grow too long and it violates an ordinance, the city's not mowing my lawn.
And that's another issue about what you can do on your own property, right?
Uh-huh.
And we talked a long time ago on a show where the woman was fighting having to have a license and going to basically college for a year to braid hair.
Right.
She won that finally.
Yeah.
But it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So we can move on from that.
I want to talk about the kid. He was, what I heard, he was attacking the wildlife and the neighbors with an axe.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly how I heard it.
That wasn't it? He wasn't murdering people?
This was in Elmhurst, Chicago area, suburb of Chicago, Elmhurst, Illinois, when a teen boy was out chopping some dead wood to make a fort, like I did.
So you mean this teenager during the left ventricle of summer was outside doing something?
Right. And actually building something, having fun, learning something.
He probably should have been watching TV.
Or playing video games or something
that's what
else.
I'm thinking.
Certainly. He was out chopping wood. Somebody was concerned. Of course, it's always this concerned person. And the police always say, we have to follow up on calls like that.
Well, cool, drive by.
And right. And say, oh, it's a kid out having fun, like we used to do in the summer all the time.
Uh-huh.
It's like what I say when they say, well, they have to call by. So if I said, hey, I see a black man on the sidewalk pushing a stroller with a baby in it. Can you come by and check him out because he might be a pedophile?
Right.
And are the police going to come and check that out?
Well, they have to, Brian.
Probably not.
They have to.
So it's crap. So anyways, he had an axe and he had a machete and some kind of roofer's axe, which I'm not sure that's a smaller axe with a nail puller outer or whatever, because I'm up on all that kind of stuff. Anyways, they took it and said, "Who's your mama?"
Yeah, I mean,
and daddy, and they didn't do anything to the kid. They took his stuff and they dropped him off at home and gave the axes. Probably lectured the parents.
Yeah, but I mean, the idea is he wasn't doing anything wrong, right? And the next time he thinks about going outside to play or to build something,
right,
or to do something productive,
he'll think twice about that.
He's going to think twice, and he's going to say, "Nah, probably just go play Call of Duty for a while."
Yeah, or Grand Theft Auto,
right? Because you're all up on that too, right? Like the axe with the nail puller outer thing.
Yeah,
That's
the official term for it.
Which Grand Theft Auto is your favorite?
Probably the original.
It's a good one. It's a good one. That's not too bad.
How was that?
They're all pretty good.
Was that?
No, it was clever.
Good.
Yeah,
okay.
clever.
All right.
What? Flushing?
I could have said the last one.
So really quick, we have a minute.
Oh, my goodness. Flushing, Michigan. That's near Flint. An 18-year-old was suspended from school because he wore a T-shirt that said, "Keep calm, carry guns." They asked him to take the T-shirt off, and he refused and said, "It's my First Amendment right." The assistant principal suspended him and said his shirt was inappropriate and promoted weapons and violence.
Yeah, because they do have a dress code that says you can't wear clothing that promotes violence.
Right, but I don't know what kind of stretch they have there.
Yeah, well, so very quickly they put out a statement that said, yeah, we recognize and respect the rights of all students and families, including First Amendment and free expression. Our dress code policy, as currently written and implemented as it related to this situation, was in error. They apologized. They said, we'll be clarifying this with the family. We'll be meeting with them. And then they said this, which is peculiar. As we enter the Memorial Day weekend and honor those who have sacrificed their lives, it is fitting to reaffirm our commitment to upholding all constitutional rights, including that of free speech.
So from that article, I wasn't sure whether they rescinded the suspension.
They did.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
they did. I don't know why you weren't sure. It was very clear in the article that I posted that they did rescind the suspension.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is they're upholding all constitutional rights. Do we know anybody that's, I don't know, like open carried in the school?
Yeah, lots.
In Flushing?
Oh, I don't know about Flushing.
This particular school that says they are committed to upholding all constitutional rights.
But we have a court order from Clio School, which is Genesee County, which is where they hold that you can open carry in school.
Yeah, so?
I'm just saying.
The law says you can, but that doesn't stop schools from harassing people.
Right. But the law decision on this county, they
all right.
can't
Well,
stop
we're out
you.
of time. See you next week.
All right, bye-bye.